So today we're at Swartford Competition, and for those that don't know, Swartford Competition has been a key component to the success of our business when it comes to getting Grand National engines right. As you know, these engines are tough to get built. Keith's got many years of experience building these engines. My personal car, One Clean T, he was the engine builder for that one, so I got a long history working with Keith. Glad to have him back on our team working with us. So this is what it looks like. Swartford Competition, Watch Performance. For our level 1 silk package, my customers typically only looking for 400 to 500 horsepower. Couldn't the stock rotating assembly handle that? Sure. Absolutely. I've seen it done multiple times. Matter of fact, I got several customers that's doing it too. But the condition of everybody's stock crank, stock rod, stock pistons isn't the same. So I will never ever have another customer leave here without knowing the condition of their rotating assembly. And if it hasn't been assembled by someone on my team, then I can't trust it. So now I put together a car. I trust that everything is done right, and I trust that the key components are in there. So if you do want to smash it, you can. I don't have to worry about you putting 30 pounds of boost on our new Street Killer turbo. You want to throw 30 pounds of boost and you got our level 1 silk package engine, that engine will handle it all day long and you can't hurt it. I got a customer out in Indiana right now. He's absolutely loving it. Shout out to Mr. Larry for letting us build his Grand National. Well, actually it's Turbo T, beautiful Turbo T. We got it alive and running, and he's got these exact same components inside of his engine. So forged rotating assembly, it just allows us to have the strength. You don't really get more power out of a forged rotating assembly. You just get more reliability and more strength. I don't have to worry about this rod bending as I would this rod bending. You know what I'm saying? That's a big difference on potential reliability. So let's talk about our level 1 silk package and what the standard is for 2025 going forward. In the past, I have taken stock crankshafts and stock rods and just fixed people's engine. Like, let's just say if you got a 20,000 mile engine and you want me to give you a little bit more performance, sure, I could just bolt on a turbo, put you a 62 turbo, and it'll fly. It will. But I was born in 1993. These cars were manufactured in 86, 87, which means this crankshaft is older than me. I look at my scars I got on my body and look at the scars that these cranks have taken. Although this is a very nice crankshaft, Watts Performance Solutions, we no longer deal with stock crankshafts if you want performance. So this will go on our website, a very nice crankshaft for those that want to retain an OEM standard. Nothing's wrong with this crankshaft, but for those who want more horsepower, we can't operate like this because I just can't put my name on something that I don't know the history on. So instead of having a cast crank, we're going to give you a nice forged crank by Eagle. Eagle cranks, they're nice. They don't take a lot of machine work to get balanced out, and I can get them pretty quickly. So we'll go with Eagle crank, Eagle rods. Once we get rid of the old crank, again, these pistons look really nice. And I wouldn't be afraid to use them on a low horsepower build. Somebody's got a stock setup, these are nice. But for where we're going, our level 1 silk package, I'd rather have a nice forged rod with a nice forged piston. That way, if somebody pulls up beside you in their Corvette after you've left Watts Performance, I'm not afraid to give you the horsepower that your car can build. And you got the solid foundation on the bottom of the engine to take that power. So regardless of what package you go with, your internals would be solid for you to throw that extra horsepower at it. So you got forged crank, forged rods, forged pistons. Next thing we do is get rid of these stock center caps, put you a nice billet center caps inside of there.
We were talking earlier how these engines were produced in the 80s you know, mid to later 80s, and what they produced with, come out of the factory with, was adequate, obviously, because they ran real well in the application they were, you know, as far as something that they drove on a regular basis. But so to throw a number on there, I don't know that I would put a horsepower number, but I know that the way that they come from the factory was adequate for what they were getting away with. But I would say this, I wouldn't be surprised if this was to be redone again in modern times, that these caps wouldn't be put on them from the factory. This is a real cool upgrade, a nice upgrade, because you know, the hot rodder moving forward, he's going to continue to up the pressure and the power on these engines. So stepping around your answer, I don't know exactly. I feel like this is a good thing to anybody that's moving forward with one of these engines. They're in the middle. The middle two caps are the ones that the crank is catching all the flex and the true load of this power that's being distributed. And like, if you could picture, all of the end caps are sort of out there supporting their little corner of the business. The middle is asked to support more cylinders per se. So yeah, this gives strength and dependability to the center of the engine. So yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised if this would have been re-engineered, if the engineers knew what they had, or, you know, of course, let me say this too, when this stuff comes from the factory's trying to save some money. You know, they're out, they got bottom lines and profit margins they have to meet. So that might not ever happen from the factory. But in an ideal world, yeah, I think this is a good thing, even on some of these more of a stock engine, you know, just for the dependability of it. But no doubt when people start stepping on these applications, making a couple more horsepower, 100 more horsepower, 200, I mean, it's a good idea to have that, to strengthen it and make it dependable.
And then, working our way up to the middle, we'll get rid of this stock camshaft. Again, these are things you can find on our website, wattsperformance.com, Turbo 6 parts. There's nothing wrong with this stock camshaft, but it's not part of our recipe when it comes to adding additional horsepower on there. So stock camshaft, it goes out. We'll upgrade you to, depending on the turbo that you get, we'll put you anywhere from a 210, which is very popular, to a 210, 215 on our level 1 silk package. Somewhere between there, nothing too aggressive, but definitely more peppier than stock. We'll upgrade your camshaft to match with your converter and your transmission and your overall goals. It's not a one size fits all. It's a customized solution for whatever your goals are. So in this particular application, we went with a 214 roller camshaft by Comp Cams. These stock rocker shafts, again, these are manufactured in 1987. I was born in 93. I'm not depending on this. So we'll either use T&D rockers or Harlan shop rockers. Either one of them, I'm going to give you a good roller rocker to make sure that we don't have any Valvetrain issues. That's the worst thing you could have. All that ticking noise and then clacking and stuff going on, we're not going to have that. And if you want to start throwing more RPM at it, we've snapped these so many times. How many more times do we have to break it before we go ahead and upgrade? So now it is standard. If you come bring your car to me, it must have a nice set of roller rockers on it. Next thing is roller lifters. Big fan of Johnson reduced travel lifters for the street. The short travels, I like to use those for race applications, but the reduced travels, that's what I like to use on our level 1 silk package and our level 2 diamond package. You'll get the same Johnson reduced travel roller rockers. I'm sorry, reduced travel roller lifters. Another thing, double roller timing chain. Mandatory. Every single build, I don't care how many miles the build has on it, it's going to have a brand new roller timing chain on it. So another key component that helps us have success, I would say, is our front covers. So this front cover came off my client's Jamal engine. Again, it didn't have any issues when we pulled it out. Although the car was ticking and knocking, the oil pressure still looked pretty good. But for us to guarantee the work and for us to have something to stand behind, we're going to take this front cover off. Again, this is something we can list on Turbo 6 parts, but it's not going to be part of what we put together going back in. So this old front cover is coming off. coming off of a really nice low mile car. And we're gonna replace it with a brand new front cover with a brand new oil pump that's already been pre-assembled and set by TA Performance. And it has the adjustable regulator on here. So this regulator allows us to adjust that oil pressure. This is critical for us to set everything how we want it to be. So as I look at all of the things we do to make our engines right, the heads are the most critical things to get right. When we port our heads the way that we port them, the cars perform like you would never believe. This is the most critical part of the engine build, getting these heads right. And so when I say getting these heads right, the right valves, the right porting angle of the valves, and that's a whole nother video coming up about how we actually go in there and port our heads. But my team is full of people who know and study the game, and what we've done to these heads, I'm excited to show you guys how the car is going to perform. I feel really comfortable and I feel really confident about the work that we're putting in on these heads, and that is what makes a big difference on our level 1 silk package, our head porting. What I'm moving forward in, we used to always focus on, well, just me, I like things to look good, but I'm getting past that pretty stuff and making sure that it's functional and the form of it is good. We can get pretty later on, but I like to, at a minimum, if you're gonna bring your car to me, let's get the engine, the transmission right. All that powder coat and stuff, I used to start with that. Now that's the last thing I even discuss. So customers that are coming to me in the future, I'm talking to you. Come to me when you're ready to get your engine built. We're not gonna patch on it. We're not going to rehab it. We're not gonna try to diagnose the issue. If you want it right, we're gonna pull that engine out and replace it with a built engine, or build yours, just depending on the timing of when you bring it to us. But our goal for the next 6 months, if you bring your car to me and the engine is ticking, I'd really like to pull your engine out, paint the engine bay, and then 3 weeks later, we're dropping in another engine that I already got on the stand. Kind of like iPhone forever, it's Team Watts forever, and just bring your Grand National to me, give us your old engine, we put a new engine in there for a little fee, but we got you.